How y'all doing? This is Glenn, gssixgun from SRP and most of the other forums. I'm going to do a little bit of honing using basically kind of a neat little method here. It's the King 1K right here. You can use any 1K. This one just happened to be the one that I had soaking. DMT 325. I'm going to take this nice little Soligen half hollow and do this so quick it's going to amaze you. What I'm going to do is about 5 figure-8s. Just raise a little bit of cutting slurry. Drip a little bit more water on there. Turn this for a right-hander. And I'm going to cut a bevel real quick. I'm going to do about 20-25 circles on here, medium pressure. I'm going to move up, or actually down the stone right now. And if you could see it from my view, you would see that the slurry is already starting to get a little dark. Like I said, about 25. I can't really count when I'm talking to you guys, but basically I go down the stone. Now we're going to go back up the stone. If you notice, I just added water to the razor too. You can drip water on, you can spray water on. Since I hone upstairs here by the bathroom sink, I just dip it in there. Paying a little bit more attention to the heel right there as I'm coming back up because I can feel it's not quite even on there. Now, I'm going to check this real quick. Make sure that I have an even bevel all the way up, top to bottom. Same on the other side. Sorry, I got to look at it in the light. Now I'm going to even that up a little bit. A little bit of heel forward, straight down the hone. Still using a little bit of pressure. By no means that lay the razor on the hone thing. No pressure. There's a little bit of pressure on here. About 5. Straight up and down the hone like that. Kind of gauge what I really have going on. And pretty good edge starting already. Again, I'm going to dip the razor. I'm going to do 5X patterns. Now if you notice, the slurry is very slowly getting thinner and thinner. I don't think you can see that from that angle. Again, we're going to dip the razor. Go back to the straight ones. Just a little bit of heel. I always use a little bit of heel forward angle. 20 or 30 degrees, I would guess. Not really, just do it. The heel is still dragging just a touch, so on this set of X's I'm going to push that heel just a touch more than the rest of it. I'm going to pull the razor off the hone as I do it. 45 degree heel forward X stroke right here because I want to push that heel just a touch. That's the stroke we're talking about when we say use it on a wedge. Instead of that rolling X stroke, you can use this stroke right here, and the razor just kind of follows that. Keeps it way more even. Okay, now we're going to make sure I have plenty of water there. Clean off all the slurry, and I'm going to smooth that bevel up. I guess I should have showed you that the bevel was dull before I started. It was dull before I started. Take my word for it. Just some really nice light heel forward. Do a couple of X strokes in there to keep it nice and even. Okay, at that point in time, dry the edge off. Take a good look at it because it should be nice and even. I'm over here looking at it under the light, so I make sure that everything's being touched. Okay, the edge is nice and sharp, but right here, right there in that spot, it's not quite there. So I'm going to push that spot a little bit. What I mean by that is I'm going to set it like this. I'm going to put my finger right on that spot, and I'm going to push it. Just give it a little bit of pressure right on that spot. and it just popped loose. Now, of course, since I did that, you need to even it back up again. Make sure that it was even. That is what's called pushing an edge. And you can do that to just get a little bit of repair work done. All these edges are not perfect by any means. Notice I'm dipping the razor. I want nice clean water on this stone. I don't want any slurry on there. I want to smooth this edge up. And I need to feel it. Okay. That probably is a nice smooth, and again I apologize, I have to look at it underneath the light so I can see what's going on. But that is a nice smooth even bevel all the way up and down that edge. It's also nice and sharp already. How do I know this? Because I'm going to just pop a couple of hairs. You can hear it catch the hairs and pop them. Those hairs are just popping away. Okay, so I have a nice sharp even bevel on there. Using a King 1K really fast. Now we're going to do something tricky. Okay, and put this enamel back in its well. It stays over there. Rinse this off, no contamination on it. And I'm going to pull out a 8x3 Thuringen. I could pull out a Coticle, I could pull out a Nakayama, I could pull out a Norton 8K if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. Anything in that box, just about, will do this trick. Okay. Again, I'm going to go here. Notice I'm rinsing it off. I don't want grit contamination. And I'm going to raise a little bit of slurry. I could use a slurry stone too, but it's just easier just to use the DMT 325. Okay, now I've got a good slurry on the stone. I'm going to use the slurry off the DMT also. Just clean slurry. Okay, now what we're going to do is just one stone hone. Okay, same thing. I'm going to do is just a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to bring that edge in some. Nice even edge. I counted 25. Now I'm going to bring that back. Notice I'm keeping the slurry right on top of that. One thing hard about a Thuringen is you can't really tell the steel in there because it's gray slurry, gray stone. Again, a little bit of heel forward. Anywhere I feel it rough edge, I just push on that a little bit. Right now, right up here at the tip, there's a little bit of a rough edge. So I'm pushing the tip right there. Pulling it back for that heel spot that we had to correct earlier.